Halacha Zayin Hilchos Shofar. It's kosher. If it was long and he made it short, it is kosher. We go to the Peirush. The Gezra Mishnah writes that there are two things that were made nischadish here. Even if he made it shorter because of something wrong with it that was cracked to its length, it's kosher. And even though it's called, it has a name, it's possible. It had a name that is possible, it's still kosher. You can make it kosher by doing something to it. Two, after the katzah, you can make it shorter. You don't have to be the way it was on the animal's head. Shofar writes that if it was long and you shortened it, if it remained in it a shear of a tekiah, it's kosher. He explains the Mishnah Berurah that he comes to tell us, will not say that you need the entire horn as it was when it was growing on the head of the ram. And also kosher, even if it was possible to begin with, and he made it shorter and ate it in order to cause it to become kosher. If he made it thinner, the outer area of the shofar, whether from within or from without, he just left it as a very thin membrane. Then, as it says in Eov, in 1615, Sakta for the Olai Gilding, I had a sack which was just as thin as a membrane. Kosher, it's kosher. The Mishnah Berurah adds that even if the voice changed from the way it was before, it's still kosher, because the change is not because of something else, but rather this is the way the shofar has now been made, so that this is the voice. If the voice was either thick or thin or hoarse, some say sorud, because the Mishnah explains that it became dry, like those shofars that you heat them and they become dry from blowing so much, and you have to make it wet. It's kosher. Because any sound that comes out of a shofar is kosher. Maimonides explains the reasoning that all the kodesh are kosher b'shofar, because the intent is not in hearing the voice of the shofar, only that special loud booming voice, as many people think, that if they didn't hear a voice that was very strong, then it's not really blowing. That's nonsense, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want strength of man, but it means to awaken the heart from the sleep that it finds itself. And a person should be ready to forego the emptiness of time, as it says in Amos. A candle and a shofar be blown in the city and people will not be afraid, and it could be that it is to cause confusion to the Sultan, who stands the entire time during Rosh Hashanah to find fault with Klal Yisrael, and therefore a person becomes fearful, and he has a shofar and he repents and he's healed, as it says in the Rambam. Even though the key is Agzeas Hashem, there's a remiss to awaken the person. Waking up, you sleepy people, from your sleep. The domim and those who are nodding off, should awaken from your slumber. Therefore, the main awakening comes from the shofar is to awaken a person, both whether it's very strong or very weak, because all the kodesh are kosher b'shofar. We also say it in the Son of Toikif that when it says Shofar Godol Yitoka, called the Momadaki Yishoma, Chassidim translated Shofar Godol, Shofar Godol Yitoka, the great man will blow, called Momadaki Yishoma, and all you'll hear is a very small, squeaky little sound. Still, the whole world trembles. We begin Perik Aleph Halacha Ches in the Shofar. In Hilchos Shofar, if somebody blows into a pit or into a cave, those who are within the pit or the cave, let's see what the Rambam writes in the Peirush over here. That it says in the Mishnah Shishona 27b. If somebody blows into a well or into a pit or a big barrel, if he hears the voice of the shofar, Yotzi, he fulfills his obligation. But if he heard the echo, he did not fulfill it. Rashi explains, Boer is round, Maro is also square, and it has a roof over it, and it has an opening. So those who are within hear the shofar. Those who are outside, depends. If they heard the kol shofar, they were yotzim. If they heard the echo, they did not fulfill their obligation. He merely adds that those who stand outside need to know that they heard the kol shofar and not the echo. Like they found close to the pit. Somebody blows into a big barrel or something similar. Kol shofar shoma, if he heard the kol shofar, yotzi, he fulfilled his obligation. If he heard the echo, he did not fulfill his obligation. This is what is referred to as pites in the Mishnah. The Rambam doesn't make a difference between a barrel, whether there were people inside the barrel or outside. But he writes, it depends on what he heard, the voice of the shofar or the echo. As the Mishnah cites the Ram, it could be that to a barrel there is a stronger echo. Those who are standing within it cannot hear the voice of the shofar, but rather only the echo. Therefore, even within it, they have to decide what they heard. The case of Mishnah cites a proof from the Rambam. The Bryce, it's written, if you blow into a pit or into a dus, it's called yotza. The Gemara says that they're talking about where the people are within it, they are yotza. He doesn't mention pitis. Turdus Halevi clarifies that the Rambam didn't mention whether they were inside because people do not go into this type of a place. That it's not wide enough for turdus to go into. We see so from his language. He writes, if you blow into a pit or into a cave, because there's a way to get in. By a chovis, by a barrel, he writes, he blows litoich chovis, meaning not via, which is bitoich, within, but rather into. Because you can't get into that barrel, you can't have people inside the barrel. But the voice you're hearing is the echo from the barrel.